You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, man. Sunday night sounds like Texas on 100.3 The Bull. Y'all, welcome to the room, Mr. Hayden Baker.
What's going on, Zakk? How you
doing?
doing?
Man, I'm doing really well. I'm so excited to have you here finally. We've had this on the books since last year, but we just now getting the chance to do it. And thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm honored to be here.
Man, I'm happy to have you. So I got to get my phone out real quick because I want to make sure that I give you all the flowers that you need to have. But if you do not know, Hayden Baker is originally from Katy, Texas. He spent some time in the Austin area and has been a part of the Texas Country Music Association, a member of the TCMA for quite some time. Was it 2018 when you were nominated for Emerging Artist?
I think so. That sounds about right.
And then a finalist last year for Guitar Player of the Year in the TCMAs. And right now you're currently up for Musician of the Year at the Texas Country Music Industry Awards.
Are you serious?
Did you not know that?
No, you know what? Yeah, I did know that. That's weird to hear, man. Musician of the Year, that's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, man, it's super cool to have you here tonight, man. And, I also, so we play you here on the Bull, and we have for some time, and I'm familiar with your newest single. But a couple of months back, man, I do a teen night at a dance hall in Magnolia. And, it's like our biggest night. And there's hundreds of kids that show up, and they will literally dance to anything. Right. But I like to use it kind of like a litmus test. Mm-hmm. And, these young kids, I mean, these are 13-year-old to 19-year-old kids from our area.
Right.
And I'll leave what the waitress would write the order of your ticket. I'll leave a ticket book out there, and they can request songs.
Nice. And
one of the most popular requests that I would get when I first started doing Teen Night was Texas Moon.
Are you serious?
Man, Texas Moon is a banger for me out there, bro.
Wow, that's so cool, man.
Yeah, it really is, man. It's such a great song, and I originally played it on Teen Night, but then I was like, you know what? I wonder if the adults will like this.
Yeah.
And it is a fantastic song for a dance hall, man. It always packs my floor, and it doesn't really matter when I play it either. I can play it early, I can play it late, and I love it because it's almost, and I hope you're not offended by this, but it's almost like another Neon Moon. It's a song that kids can literally, if they don't know how to dance, they can walk with their partner with, right, on the dance floor. Man, it's one that it's kind of like a secret in my arsenal.
That's
when
awesome,
I'm DJing.
Man. So. We haven't played it in a while. I think I might throw it back in the set because we don't have another waltz right now. But it's funny you mentioned that's like the Neon Moon is that song is the one that Ronnie Dunn heard first of mine, and that was what caused him to call me and say, "Let's get you up here to Nashville," because he just loved Texas Moon. He loved the melody of it.
No kidding. I had no idea.
Yeah, we've written Ronnie a couple times and I now, because Texas Moon came out 5 years ago. So Ronnie and I have written a few times since then, and the first time we wrote, just the two of us, he was walking around the office singing Texas Moon, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What is happening? Why is he singing one of my songs? That's great. I wrote it with, that was my first write in Nashville. I think it was in like January of 2020. I wrote with, I don't know if you know the name, Barrett Baber.
Okay.
He wrote Nothing on You for Kojo.
Okay.
He's had a couple more Kojo cuts as well. And him and I wrote Leave the Rest Up to You on my last record too. So,
awesome.
So yeah, I love that song.
That's so cool. I had no idea that you were going to have a story that tied into my Texas Moon story, but that's awesome, man. Super cool. Again, Sunday night sounds like Texas, presented by Square to Toe Boots. My featured artist this week is Hayden Baker. For those who maybe don't know you, can you kind of tell me, like, can we go back to the roots, like where it started and when you found out that, you were passionate about music? Like, when was the first time you ever picked up a guitar or sang?
So I'm 27 now. I picked up the guitar first when I was about 16. And I just wanted to be a guitar player. I wanted to be, I grew up playing Guitar Hero on PlayStation. I wanted to shred. And so the first things I learned were solos. I didn't learn how to play chords. I wanted to learn solos.
I love that, man. And, I don't know if I've ever heard that, but I love that.
I did it backwards, man. And then I got pretty good at it pretty quick, just playing guitar. And then I saw Brad Paisley play at the rodeo in 2015. and he blew me away. He's running around the dirt, just ripping on that telly. And I said, that's what I want to do. So I went home, downloaded all of his records, the instrumental record that he did, and learned everything. I mean, I was obsessed with it. 8 hours a day. Like, when I could play, I was playing. And that, going into college, I was playing baseball in college at Angelina in East Texas, in Lufkin, Texas. And I tore my UCL in the first game of the fall, had to have Tommy John surgery, out for the year. And that was the year where I was like, okay, well, let's see if we can't go out and sing and play and sing at the same time and try to figure out this whole deal. So there's a tiny little wine bar in downtown Lufkin that did open mics every Thursday, and I was there every Thursday learning how to sing and play. And then writing came with that, and wrote a few songs, cut an EP here at Stormy Cooper's in 2018, and then just haven't stopped since then, man.
I didn't know you played ball either. Did you? Mm-hmm. You also went to A&M, right?
I had quite the journey. I played 2 years of JUCO ball in Lufkin, and then I played 1 year down here it was Houston Baptist. Now it's Houston Christian University, just right off of 59 over here in Sharpstown. And then while I was there, they're D1. Like, we were playing against A&M, and we were playing some big games. While we were there was when I started getting big gigs. Like, we opened for Willie Nelson at Smart Financial Center, and I had weights the next morning. And then I left a game in the 7th inning against Cincinnati to haul ass over to the cook-off to open for Wade Bowen. And it was just crazy. I was like, dude, this Hannah Montana lifestyle's got to stop. My batting average ain't that high this year, but we're making good money on the road, so I might switch gears here. And yeah, I grew up in Aggie. My dad went there, and my sister was there at the time, so I just figured I'd transfer in and finish up school at A&M, and we did. Got the ring, and the rest is history, I guess. Gig 'em.
Heck yeah, man.
Nothing but heartache being an A&M sports fan.
I tell you what, man, it might be tough to be a sports fan in College Station, but the music there's something in the water in that little community, mm-hmm. because there's so many great artists that come out of there and have spent time at A&M throughout the years. I mean,
I totally agree.
There's just so many of them. There's something down there. I don't know what it is.
The 3 years I lived there were very, very important for my music career and my personal life. I met my girlfriend there, and I met my bass player there, my guitar player there, and so many wonderful friends. Like during the pandemic, Cody Johnson's fiddle player, Jody Bartula, when nobody had gigs, nobody had work, and we were all kind of scrambling and losing our fire, he would just, every other Monday, he would host a jam night at his house, and we'd go over there and just jam Haggard songs all night. So I truly cherish my time in Aggie Land.
Man, that's awesome. I love hearing those cool stories that maybe others wouldn't hear about, and I can just imagine how special those nights were, mm-hmm. playing with him. Again, Sunday night sounds like Texas here on 100.3, The Bull, and the free Odyssey app worldwide, presented by Square to Toe Boots. My featured artist this week is Hayden Baker. You do have a new song out, which is kind of quickly also becoming an anthem of mine in the honky tonk, Drinking Buddy. I mean, how can you not like that one, right?
Come on, man. Yeah.
What's the story behind it? Did you write it for yourself, a friend, or an ex, a bottle? What's going on?
Very interesting story for this. So it just came out. Yeah, it hit streaming last Friday and radio, I think Monday this week. And I wrote it and recorded it 3 years ago in 2022, which that's not the usual timeline for me. Usually it's like, with this next record that comes out in the fall, we finished up recording in August of last year. So I was signed at Ronnie Dunn's publishing company at the time, and was learning how to co-write and the art of songwriting up there in Nashville and all that kind of stuff. And I had to write with two guys that I've written quite a few songs with. Timothy Baker, no relation, although I wish there was. He's awesome. And Tom Perkins. And we had this idea to write a song called Drinking Buddy about, like, it's kind of like a help wanted ad, like I'll listen to all the qualifications and everything to be a drinking buddy. It's like you need to be able to start right now and, have a high, high tolerance for alcohol. So we wrote it pretty quick, and Ronnie heard it and loved it and was like, man, this is a smash. And he didn't say that very often. I would send him something and he'd be like, but Drinking Buddy, he was like, this is a hit. And I went and recorded it a couple months later, at the same time I recorded At Least I'm Here, which we put out a few years ago. And then I heard that Ronnie was pitching it to John Party to cut. So John had it. I don't know if he had it on hold or what the situation was there, but that was the noise was that Party might cut this, and then he did, and he passed on it. I think he had like just finished up his record or something at the time. So then Ronnie had he had lunch with Blake Shelton's manager and showed it to him, and he loved it. So Blake had it on hold for a while. I'm pretty certain. So I just kind of back pocketed it. You know, I was like, I'm not going to get in the way of this if one of these big dogs wants to cut it. And it just, 3 years, nothing really happened with it. I had it sitting in a drop box, and it sounds great. And like you said, it's an anthem. And I figured we're going to start rolling out singles for the next record in May. I was like, well, why don't we get Drinking Buddy out before that and kind of get the ball rolling with releasing stuff. So yeah, man, we've been playing it in the show for years. Everybody loves it, and figured it was time to get it out.
Yeah, man, that's super cool. Again, Hayden Baker, Drinking Buddy is out on all platforms. You got any other? You mentioned that you have a new record coming out in the fall. What's up with the record? Like, how many songs? What's it called? Tell me about it.
The record is going to be 10 songs. It's going to be called Alive and Well. I've been going to Nashville and writing songs with some very, very talented folks for 4 or 5 years now, and learning the ropes there. And these 10 songs are the absolute best songs I've written out of, I think it's around 200 now. And it's, on the last record I did, there was stuff where it's like I had an instrumental with Brad Paisley, and there was a cover of a Brooks and Dunn song. There was an acoustic gospel song that I wrote, just kind of different things to, not necessarily filler, but there were some things that were creative on that one that nobody's really heard because they're not conducive to streaming numbers or whatever, or radio.
Right, yeah.
This record is 10 songs that clock in under 4 minutes, that are the strongest hooks I've got, or the strongest melodies I've got, and every single one of them I'll play in the live show. I'm so proud of them. The first single comes out from that on May 16th. It's called Home Into a House. It's a honky tonker, and it's going to be a song being released every 5 weeks after that, and then the record's going to come out in October.
Man, so when you write, Hayden, are you writing about personal experiences, or is it something that you see? Do you get random ideas? Where's your writing style come from?
It's a little bit of everything. I've definitely written some songs from very, very personal experiences. They're so hard to sing, that I can't. They're that personal. But most of the time, I'm always just thinking about titles and hooks, and if I hear something in a show or in conversation, I pull the notes app out, and like that, I know where that could go. I know how that could be a song, and I've got a good group of guys in Nashville that I just really enjoy writing with, and I also try to get branch out and write with the big dogs. I've got one coming up with Wyatt McCubbin next week, who I'm excited to write with, and Chris Dubois and Trent Wilman and those guys I get to write with every now and then. But I've got a good friend group up there that are very talented, and we kind of have a good work relationship when it comes to songwriting. And I'm usually the title guy. I come in with the titles and the hooks.
That makes sense, because you said you started out learning solos instead of chords.
Exactly.
So you come up with the good part first.
I come up with the guitar lick and all that kind of stuff. When Ronnie and I wrote together the first time, that's what he said. We got a verse, chorus in, and he goes, "All right, guitar man, play a lick for the song." And I was on the spot in his kitchen, like, what? So yeah, it's a little bit of everything when it comes to songwriting for me.
That's cool, man. Hey, do you think you want to play one right now?
I think so.
We've been talking for a few minutes.
I think so.
I would love for you to play one. Which one would you? What are we gonna hear here?
You want? I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to hear the current single, Drinking Buddy, or do you want to hear the next one?
Well, I definitely want to hear Drinking Buddy.
Then let's do Drinking Buddy.
I definitely want to hear that.
Let's see. I think we're gonna be in this key here. That sounds right. All right, you ready?
Yeah, man.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's an open position, needs immediate filling, benefits are too good to turn down. I'm taking applications, only qualifications being able to start right now. It's first come, first serve, and I'll buy the first round. I need a drinking buddy, someone to help me knock 'em back till the room gets fuzzy. Shots of tequila, whiskey on ice. We can shoot 'em, we can sip 'em till they turn on the lights. If you're worked up with thirst and you're free till Monday, pull up a stool and let's get to drinking, buddy. Can't be a quitter, need a driven go-getter, committed to keeping up all night. So if your weekends ain't available, don't think your liver's capable of throwing down a case of Shiner Light. Ain't no need for you to even apply, 'cause I need a drinking buddy, someone to help me knock 'em back till the room gets fuzzy. Shots of tequila, whiskey on ice. We can shoot 'em, we can sip 'em, give each other high fives. If you worked up a thirst and you're free till Monday, pull up a stool and let's get to drinking, buddy. You're here at 10 a.m. It's one hell of a credential. I'd say you got the potential. Be my drinking buddy, someone to help me knock 'em back till the room gets fuzzy. Shots of tequila, whiskey on ice. We can shoot 'em, we can sip 'em till they turn on the lights. If you worked up a thirst and you're free till Monday, pull up a stool and let's get to drinking, buddy. Yeah, I need a drinking buddy. Come on.
Heck yeah, Hayden Baker, Sounds Like Texas, Sunday nights, 100.3 The Bull. We're live on the free Odyssey app too, worldwide. That's the brand new one. Again, out and available anywhere you stream or listen to music. Drinking Buddy, Hayden Baker, new album coming out in the fall of this year. If you could drink, I mean, and it sounds like you might have had, there's probably some cool stories here with your relationship with Ronnie and then Brad Paisley, but if you could drink with any country artist, dead or alive, who would be the drinking buddy on the bar stool next to you?
Oh, man. I'd love to sit down and have one with Alan Jackson.
Right.
That would be cool, just listening to that guy's stories. He's like, as far as artists, writers go, man, like I don't think any artist has written more number ones by him or herself than Alan has. So I'd love to sit down and have one with AJ.
Very cool, man. I love that. So your sound's pretty dialed in, and I obviously talking to you today, I feel like that's something that's been evolving, and you're happy with where your sound is right now. But what's one artist or genre of music that maybe you bump in the truck that people would be shocked to know about?
John Mayer.
That is a good one.
110%. Like I listen to him more than anybody right now. It's like I started out. It was Brad Paisley was on all the time because I was just obsessed with the guitar playing and tone and his writing too. And it's Brooks and Dunn. It's Merle. It's Whitley. But I gravitate towards Mayer. Like that dude as a guitar player. Usually I can figure out what's going on and copy what somebody's doing. But there's stuff that Mayer does that's only he can do because his hands are so damn big, and his writing is so great, and like that Born and Raised album where he kind of went country a little bit. It's more like a folk record, I guess. My God, like I want that thing on a vinyl playing in the house 24/7. I'm a big John Mayer fan.
Yeah, and again, it makes sense because you're such a guitar player. I was gonna ask you like who you'd want to play with, but it's like, man, you've done so much cool stuff already. You know, what else is on the bucket list?
Oh, man, I think at this point it's to have a dang hit song. You know, because like you said, I've been fortunate enough to do some cool things. I've written with Ronnie Dunn. I've recorded with Brad Paisley. I think now it's just like I'm chasing that hit song and chasing just the next level, because we're starting to headline, hard ticket venues all across the state, and we're moving 100 to 300 tickets depending on the venue. And some nights that's good. Some nights it's like I can barely pay the band. We got to get more people out to shows, and I want to be able to do this for the remainder of my life because I love it so much, and I want to be able to provide. So I think on the bucket list is just taking the next step, man, getting to the next level for me.
Yeah. Well, I think you'll get there at some point here soon. Do you ever feel like, you spend a lot of time in Nashville, and I talk to a lot of Texas guys who do the back and forth thing. Do you ever feel like you're pulled between the two worlds?
I did at the beginning, which was in like 2020 when I had the pub deal, and it was like, hey, you got to move here because everything happens here. And I was kind of looking at it from, well, Cody didn't, like he still lives in Texas, and Parker at the time didn't. Parker does now, and I hear him always say he wants to go back to Texas, and now you're seeing it's now I don't feel pulled so much. I kind of have a good balance between the two. I feel like, and I always run into guys like Braxton Keith or William Beckman at the airport on Monday morning at baggage claim, at B&A, or Wynn Williams or Keller Cox. Like Matt Castillo. We always bump into each other at the airports, and it's like, oh, you're here this week, cool. All right, we'll go get a beer. So now I feel like it's almost normal to a sense. Like a lot of Texas artists around my age and my level are doing the back and forth thing. So it's nice to know that there's kind of a community of folks like me doing that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this about Texas. What's one of your favorite? You don't have to say it's your favorite. You don't have to claim it, so no one gets offended. But like, what's one like stop on the tour, or if you get a show somewhere in a certain town, like what's that town? What's that area? What's your like? What gets you giddy?
Green Hall I always get excited for it, and we're working on a headline show there too, which is going to be exciting. I just love that area. It's always fun, and I've got to open for Watson there a couple times around Christmas time. I think Green Hall around Christmas time is one of my favorite places. But also Do-Si-Do in the Woodlands, man. We played it for the first time in December and had 250 people in there, and that was an incredible experience. We'll be back there in July too, so I love that place.
Such a cool room.
Such a cool room.
Yeah, man, very, very, very cool spot. And I ask everybody this that comes on the show, Hayden Baker, my featured artist this week, presented by Square to Toe Boots. What does it mean to you to be an artist who is having success in country music that's from Texas, that represents the Lone Star State? What does that mean to you?
It's an honor. It's funny we talk about going back and forth to Nashville. I have a lot of friends that are either, they're from Tennessee and live there, or they're from Georgia or Ohio and they moved there. And they always ask me, like, so what do you, like, do you just tour? Like, what do you do? I was like, no, yeah, I just tour, that's it. And like, and you can make enough to, supplement your life? And I was like, in Texas, you can, man. Like,
right.
We're very fortunate, the ones of us that are from here and that are kind of grandfathered into, the Texas country scene. If we want to be a part of it, you can literally just make a living touring around Texas if you can sell enough tickets, and you don't have to go anywhere else. And I think that's incredible. Like I'm thankful every day for that I get to do what I love and not have to worry about going to work on Monday. I can do this thing and tour 100 times a year, and I don't have to leave the state if I don't want to. I do want to. Obviously, I want to be as big as the good Lord willing. But to know that I can always come home to Texas and play 50 different freaking markets and never oversaturate, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's a nice safety net to have, to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that unconditional love. It's never going away. You can always come back home to mama's house.
That's right.
Hayden Baker, again, my featured artist this week, man. I'd love to do 3 things you never knew about Texas, a little Hayden Baker edition, if you want to, here in just a few minutes. But you were talking about maybe playing another new song.
Yeah.
So this is going to be included on the record this fall?
It will, yeah. So Drinking Buddy won't, just because it was recorded so long ago and it's kind of, it sounds sonically different than this new project. So Drinking Buddy will be on its own. But yes, this next song is called Home Into a House. It comes out May 16th to streaming. It'll be the first release from the new record. It'll be a part of it, yeah.
Home Into a House. And you mentioned this earlier, right? Who'd you write this with again?
I wrote this one with a gentleman named Robert Arthur, who Robert wrote a bunch of those kind of tongue-in-cheek Brad Paisley songs, like "I'll Take You Back," or there's a few other ones that I'm forgetting. Maybe it never would have worked out anyway. No, 2 Feet of Topsoil. Right. So he's great with the tongue-in-cheek country sort of thing. He's a great guitar player, and him and I wrote this one pretty quickly.
Very cool, man.
One of my favorites.
One more time, the name of it?
Home Into a House.
Home Into a House. Hayden Baker, Sounds Like Texas.
Pretty pictures on the wall, scented candles down the hall, a crocheted blanket on an easy chair. Welcome wreath on the door, straight out of her Pinterest board. Lord, it's like her fingerprints were everywhere. It's amazing what a woman's touch can do. It can fill your world with color, or just leave you feeling blue. I never knew how much I needed her around, until she went and turned this home into a house. Now it's cobwebs on empty nails, and them dishes sure do smell. It took a week to get that washer figured out. Now beating Hormel from a can, watching old reruns of Friends. Did I mention I'm missing her loving arms right now? It's amazing what a woman's touch can do. It can fill your world with color, or just leave you feeling blue. I never knew how much I needed her around, until she went and turned this home into a house. It's amazing what a woman's touch can do. Oh, it can fill your world with color, or just leave you feeling blue. I never knew how much I needed her around, until she went and turned this home into a house. Oh, she went and turned this home into a house. Get down, baby. What, man?
Come on now.
Yeah, I love that song.
Man, that seems like a fun one to play for a guitar player. Right?
It sure is, man. We did it up. We did it up great in the studio, and we played it for the first time at the Hideout. Actually,
cool.
I had Adam Hill on fiddle, who plays with Josh Abbott, and Adam Goodale on steel.
Oh yeah, Adam's one of my favorite steel players.
Yeah, so he's the steel player on this new record.
Oh, I love that,
and he
man.
Killed it, man. I mean, he nailed it on the honky tonk stuff. But there's a song that's going to be out in July. It's called maybe August. It's called We Should Do This More Often, and it's real two-stepping, like easy listening, smooth. And the steel on that, he was like, it's different than what he usually plays, because he plays for Worthington, so it shuffles and honky tonk stuff. And I was gonna play the guitar solo because I just typically what I do. That's like my brand. I'm playing the solos on stuff, and he was in the room cutting, and he just took a ride on this solo in this song, and I went, nope, that's it, that's the solo.
I love that.
Yeah,
man.
he did great, man.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He again is one of my favorites. Shout out to Adam. So you want to do 3 things you never knew about Texas? Did you?
Let me give it a shot.
What was your grade in Texas history, 7th grade?
7th grade, I was probably getting A's still. It was around when I got to A&M that the grades started faltering. I actually had to try.
All right, so we do this, Hayden, for all of the influx of people each and every week who flee to the Lone Star State as a sanctuary from the rest of the junk that is offered here in the United States of America. So it's not really for natives. This is more for the newbies. Just to, so they won't be idiots out in public. So they know things every once in a while.
Gotcha. Okay.
So 3 things you never knew about Texas, Hayden Baker edition. Let's get into it tonight. We're going to be talking about Texans who invented the binoculars. Did you know that's one of ours?
I did not.
I didn't either until recently.
Makes sense though.
Does and when I explain it even further, you'll be like, aha.
Yeah.
Big Tex isn't just tall. He's also a traveling bouncer. You didn't know this, but we're going to get into it. Texas State Fair is wild. And finally tonight, bluebonnets actually glow under a full Texas moon. How you like that?
How about that?
All right, let's get into it. So legend has it that a rancher in Lubbock tied 2 bottles together to spot a loose calf. And then he discovered, accidentally, that it was binoculars, which is why, Hayden, that Texans don't need reading glasses. We just squint into the sun and call that HD.
That's right.
3 things you never knew about Texas. Big Tex, again, not just tall. He's also a time-traveling bouncer of the Texas State Fair. They say if you eat a fried Twinkie and make eye contact with Big Tex exactly at 7:04 p.m., you'll wake up with an Alamo corny dog in one hand and a 1950 rodeo program in the other. Have you ever been to the State Fair? You surely have.
I haven't, actually.
Wow.
That is probably the only thing I haven't been to in Texas. Being from Houston, I guess we never went up there for it, but I'm sure we will at some point.
And when you get there, I know for a fact that you're probably going to write a song with Davy Crockett. I mean, you've written with everyone else.
If he's open to it.
Yeah, I think he will be. And finally tonight, 3 things you never knew about Texas, Hayden Baker edition. Bluebonnets will glow under a full Texas moon, but only for people who have 2-stepped in a Buc-ee's parking lot. Has that ever been you?
2-step in a Buc-ee's parking lot. No, but I've done some other things in a Buc-ee's parking lot.
I bet you.
Speaking of that, I was on the Hardy Toll Road getting on 59 to come down here, and I kid you not, a F-350 drove by me, and the big Buc-ee that's outside, the little statue? He had one in the bed of his truck strapped down. I'm like, is he delivering one? Or right. I'm not kidding. On the way here, I was like,
funny how that's your first question too.
I know. I just had to get that out there. That was incredible to see.
Wow, man. Surely he had some help getting in the back of the truck, right?
That's what I'm saying. He had to have done something crazy in the Buc-ee's parking lot to get it out there without being seen.
Yeah, I love that, man. Hayden Baker, dude. Is there anything that I can help you promote? Do you have anything coming up on the books besides the new record? Is there a show or something you want to promote on your website? Whatever it is.
Absolutely. So, like I said, we're going to be headlining at the Do-Si-Do Big Barn on July 12th. Tickets are on sale now. We've already sold, I think, 50 or 100 of them so far. So, y'all get your seats reserved while you can. Those will go quick. And then June 1st, I'm going to be at Moe's Place for the Texas Best Music Fest. Myself, David Lewis, and Scotty Alexander are kind of doing this little side project thing that we don't have a name yet for, but it's Texas Guitar Slingers is kind of what we're running with for now. We're all chicken pickers and, G bender players, and Scotty rips on the fiddle too. So we've kind of started this little side project thing where we all get up there and just see who can play the most notes. But we also sing some nice harmony with each other. It's a really, truly a one-of-a-kind show. And we'll be at Moe's Place on Sunday, June 1st for the Texas Best Music Fest that Bill and Kim Nash put on that benefits, why am I blanking? Champions Kids Camp. So y'all can come out to that and help support a great cause and listen to some guitar picking. I think that's all we got going on in the Houston area. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for an album release show in October. That will likely be over at Moe's Place in Katy. That's the home. That's the stomping grounds for me. I think that's all we got in the area right now. I'm probably forgetting something. I usually do.
Where can people follow you if they're not connected with you on socials?
Hayden Baker Music is the Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. HaydenBakerMusic.com is the website, and we have Hayden Baker on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, all that fun stuff. Links in my bios will get you anywhere you need to go. New record comes out in October. New single May 16th. Drinking Buddy just dropped last week.
Heck yeah, man. I just want to extend the offer, man. If you ever want to come back and you ever need a platform to promote something, dude, we'd love to have you back before October when that album comes out.
That would be great.
Thank you for coming by today. Make sure y'all go support Hayden Baker. Again, this is a guy that I play every single week at Henry's Hideout, and people just love him, man. And I love the new song, and I can't wait to hear the new record, man. It was great talking to you today and hearing your stories. And I just really appreciate you coming by, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Maybe next time we'll do it up in Springs since we live so dang close to each other.
That is true. We both drove probably an hour and a half to get here to hang out in the Galleria when we could have just drove 10 minutes down the road from one another.
No worries, man.
We'll definitely have to set that up next time.
We will. I'd be on it. We need to get me and Cowie on at the same time.
I would love that.
There
That'd
would
be fun.
some stories. We're playing golf together. We played on Monday and we're playing again tomorrow, so we spend too much time together now that I live here.